Good morning. It is 8:17 a.m. on Wednesday, April 7th, 2021. I'm Christiana Ellis, and I sort of just got up. It's complicated. This is 5 more minutes. I conked out early last night. I guess comparatively early. I mean, it was like 9:30 or something when I finally went to bed. Oh, incidentally, the reason I'm leaning over here to the side today is because I need to still be close to the microphone, but I can't move my microphone stand because it has a sleeping dog under it. And, it just feels like it would be a tragedy to try to interfere with that. He's a good boy. But yeah, and then so I woke up relatively, like comparatively earlier as well to kind of correspond with when I went to bed. But then what I kind of realized after starting to get up and do a few things is that, like, hey, wait a minute. If I was so tired that I needed to go to bed early, maybe I shouldn't only get the same normal amount of sleep as usual. So I actually went back to bed for a little bit. I think also there's a lot of tree pollen in the air right now, and I had my window open, so I'm feeling a little bit like allergies. But overall, doing okay. We had to postpone our So Many Levels game last night, which was a little disappointing just because, we wanted to play. But we got too many folks who are just feeling kind of like I did last night, which is to just say things are just exhausting right now. And I think maybe I want to say a little bit about how I think maybe partly because it's this expectation that things are starting slowly to get back to some kind of a new normal, maybe, that it feels like that should be a positive thing. And I mean, it is really. But what it is a transition to an unknown state compared to something that has its problems, the quarantine for sure, but also we've kind of gotten used to it a little bit. And so this hypothetical prospective adjustment back to some new normal, or I guess not even back to some new normal because it is new, I think a lot of people are stressed out. So I think we need to always, cut the people in our lives some slack. Let's try to remember, I think there's a lot of people, even if they don't even fully realize it consciously, there's a lot of people sort of struggling right now and probably will be for a while. It's different than during a long quarantine where you're just kind of hunkering down and not expecting much. But now, as things start to shift again, it's transitions that are unsteady, right? And that produces anxiety. So cut your friends some slack, cut yourself some slack, check in with folks. Because I'll say I spent a lot of the last week doing that, like checking in with people and trying to mediate some, some frictions between people who do love each other, but just kind of everyone's, it's easy to, let things get out of proportion, especially when things are, it's not important to get into that. But the point is that I kind of did a lot of that. And then I had a couple people last night check in with me, and it felt pretty good. And I felt like I was able to sincerely say, I'm doing okay. There's a lot going on. But it felt good to have the mask. And yeah, so just take care of the people in your life. Don't make them get up and move from where they're sleeping, even if you have to lean over in your chair a little bit. Figure out what this new normal is going to be, but don't put unnecessary deadlines on it. or expectations. We're all going to kind of figure this out together. So I guess I'll just leave it there for today, and I will talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.